These are the 8 plants that saved the world. First, wheat, the grass that built our cities. Look close, someone's pressing tiny marks into wet mud. What are these? Let's find out where these marks came from. 10,000 years ago in the Middle East, people wandered, always walking, always hungry. Then they noticed this grass, wild wheat. They learned the trick: plant a seed, get more wheat. Grow your own food, and suddenly you don't have to keep walking. So they stopped roaming. Bundles down, roots down. One warm fire and a little village grows up around it. Home. One farm became a village. The village grew a wall and became a city. And inside, piles and piles of stored grain, more than anyone could count. How do you keep track of that much? You press it into clay, and the first writing grew right out of counting grain. 3 marks, 3 heaps of grain. And it never stopped. The little marks we used to count grain grew into every word we write, all of it from a grass. 1 seed, 1 word, bye for now. Rice, the crop that feeds half the world. Follow this drop. It's falling down the tallest staircase on earth. And to find out why it matters, we have to climb all the way back up. Long ago, by China's Yangtze River, over 9,000 years back, people flooded a field, and one tiny grain loved it. Later, farmers carved whole hillsides into flooded steps. One terrace, then the next and the next. More steps, more rice, more families. This little grain fed towns, then whole cities, the engine that grew half of Asia. Look back down. A ladder of mirrors, and every step turns green the second the water lands. And today, set out every dinner on earth. This one grain fills half the bowls, half the world. From one drop to half the planet. Not bad little grain, quack. Corn, the supercrop grown from a humble weed. You've been told corn is natural. It isn't. This is what it started as, a skinny weed with a dozen rock-hard seeds. 9,000 years ago in ancient Mexico, this was corn's grandmother, a wild grass called teosinte. You could not eat it. Nobody invented corn. Farmers just kept the fattest cob every harvest and replanted its seeds, again and again, for thousands of years. Bit by bit, the weed became gold. Not by magic, by patience. Corn is the only major crop on Earth that humans literally designed. It fed the Maya and the Aztec. Whole cities rose on it. Then, in 1492, ships carried it across the ocean, and the corn we had shaped began feeding the world. Today, that same kernel feeds families on every continent. 1 crop, 4 jobs. Our food, feed for animals, even fuel and popcorn. But here is the catch. Corn can no longer survive without us. It cannot even reproduce on its own. Take away humans and corn disappears, which is pretty insane. Potato, the lumpy little hero that beat hunger. SHHH, we are underground, cold, dark, but something down here is growing. Dig with me, up, up, pop. Meet the potato, the lumpy little hero. High in the Andes Mountains, about 8,000 years ago. It is so high, so cold, almost nothing grows up here. But the potato pushes up, right into the cold, and thrives. Sailors carried it across the sea to Europe, and there, in poor, cold dirt, it grew heaps of food. One little family's table filled up, season after season. Even in a hard year, green shoots came back, food from ground nothing else wants. Today, plates of potatoes land on tables across nearly every continent. A top food almost everywhere. Thanks, Spud. Look close, it is wearing tiny Inca terrace stripes. Dig you later. Cassava, the root that laughs at drought. This field is baked hard, cracked dry, and every plant has flopped flat. Every plant except this one. Cool as you like, it will not droop. Its secret. A big fat root, fattening up below on stored food, hidden where the sun can't reach. It began in South America. Then, root by root, it crept across to Africa and on to Asia. When the rain forgot to come and other crops gave up, this root kept the pot full. You grate it, soak it, and squeeze it just right, and it crumbles into soft, warm flour. Today, it feeds about 800 million people. Count M. The root that laughs at drought, come rain or shine. Cinchona, the fever tree that beat malaria. SHH. Listen, in the dark a little wine and a fever burning warm. One question, detective, what breaks the fever? Follow me. Up here in the misty mountains, a clue. The fever tree, its bark is red. They peel a little bark, grind it fine and brew it slow. The red turns to amber tea. One sip, the fever cools. They sit up, stand, and step back into the day. This medicine let people live, work, and travel where fevers once won. Light after light, they carry on. Solved, one red tree, one warm cup. Off you go, buddy. Case closed, fever off. Willow, the tree behind every aspirin. Look, a whole willow, hanging upside down in the water. And hands from age after age, all reaching for the same thing. Its bark. Thousands of years ago, people chewed this bark. Oh, then, the aches and fevers faded. Then a scientist found the secret hiding inside. A tiny something called salicin. They molded it into a little pill. Aspirin. Hand to hand, age to age, the very same remedy travels and lands right in your palm. A pounding head, a fever, one pill and quietly it helps hearts keep their steady beat. Open almost any cabinet, in almost any year, and there it is. One of the most used medicines ever made. All better, one plant left, what a tree. And rubber, the sap that put the world on wheels. Boing, don't blink, just follow the bouncing ball. Rewind that bounce all the way back, deep into the Amazon rainforest, to one very special tree. People here cut the bark, and out drips a milky sap. They waterproofed things with it and shaped the very first bouncy balls. Then the world learned a clever trick to toughen it up. Soft goo turned into hard, springy rubber. And now, it bounces even better, and it's ready for a big job. Wrap that tough rubber around a wheel and grip. Stuck carts roll, bikes zoom, machines whir to life. Today rubber is everywhere that moves. Tires, seals, belts, machine parts. The whole modern world quite literally rolls on it. From jungle sap to the wheels of the world, that's all 8 plants. Keep bouncing, everybody.